The concept of gratitude is so important because kung hindi ka makontento sa maliit, hindi ka magiging kontento sa pag malaki na yung dumarating sa'yo. My name is Alex Diaz, and today I'm going to be giving some advice on career, life, and love from my own experiences. So I am an actor, singer, performer. I am Scottish Filipino, and I've been living in the Philippines since I was 12. I recently went independent as an artist around December. But aside from that, I just finished a musical called Bar Boys, which is about 4 law students navigating the pitfalls of law school. We are currently working on the premiere of my first international film, which is Glitter and Doom. It is a jukebox musical to the tune of the Indigo Girls, and we have stars like Ming Na Wen, Missy Pyle, Leah Delaria, and myself, the only Filipino in the cast, so I'm very excited about that. So how does one even start out in the industry? I started out performing when I was 12, and so I think that's the very start. I was Simba in my high school play, and from there, Facebook had just started booming, and I was getting messages from managers in different networks, and so I'd never been to Manila at that point. For me, North was Alabang. So I remember when I was 14, I auditioned for PBB. Long story short, my dad wasn't supportive of my career at that time because I was still studying. So as soon as I got to college, I started doing commercials behind my family's back, and that started popping off. So from there, I was scouted into Star Magic off the radio because I was doing radio for RX 93.1. Yeah, from there I was launched and nobody knew me. Yeah, that's kind of how it all started for me. The one thing I can say about starting out in showbiz is be proud of every opportunity that comes for you, even if it's small or great. The concept of gratitude is so important because kung hindi ka makontento sa maliit, hindi ka magiging kontento sa pag malaki na yung dumarating sa'yo. So always be proud of yourself. From my first Candy Cutie stint all the way to my first Mega Magazine cover, one thing I would tell my younger self is really enjoy the moment. Surround yourself with good people. With your busy schedule, yes, busy schedule, how do you manage to maintain a healthy work-life balance, especially with relationships? I don't think I'm the right person to ask about this because at this point in my life, I have sinukuan ko na ang work-life balance. As in, when I was in my early 20s, I'm like, oh, kailangan mag-beach tayo, and then after ako mag-work, kailangan, alam mo yun, parang may time with friends and stuff. At this point in my life, in this economy, sinukuan ko na po yung work-life balance. I think swerte ako kasi mahal na mahal ko yung trabaho ko. Like, whenever I go to work, I have to pinch myself na parang, I'm doing this. But at the same time, I have to remind myself that I'm doing this because I had unwavering faith in my ability. Even when I watch back my old videos and medyo cringe ako kasi sobrang OA ako when I was younger. But hey, this industry is all about the makapal na face. So you have to have a thick face. I think work-life balance is a myth in some ways because if you are blessed to wake up doing what you love, or if you know in your mind what your end goal is, then you'll get there. But in terms of balance, work, rest balance. You need to be able to get 8 hours of sleep. You need to be able to pick and choose the moments that you are going to partake in sad, which is self-aided destruction, like partying, having a good time. Choose those moments and choose them less pag medyo tumanda ka na. Pag bata ka pa, pwede pa. Pero when you're older, choose those moments carefully. In an industry where there's a lot of pressure to conform, how do you stay true to yourself? That's an interesting question because I feel like one thing I realized is that yourself is always changing. So if what was true to you when you were 20 may not be true when you're 24, may not be true when you're 27. So really just love yourself through your ever-changing personality. Because there are times where I would look back at myself, especially in this industry where you say something and that video goes viral. Immortal na siya eh. Hindi na nag-age yung video. So what I was saying 5-6 years ago, even if it was uploaded then, as long as pumapatak yung views, people are watching it, you will be, referenced to. And sometimes all it takes is one picture to define you. But in acting, we say you were only as good as your last work. So in this industry, spend enough time with yourself and journal and meditate and get to know yourself. Keep discovering parts of yourself that you can share with the world. Come from a place that is not ego-driven. For me, it's representation. I'm many things. I'm an actor, a creator, I'm a performer. I'm also queer. I'm also, I'm very into activism. But come from those things and not just wanting to be seen and just wanting to be heard. You know, every time I look back on my past, I don't see it as myself. I see it as, you know, an inner child. I don't think adults don't act out. You know, when somebody's acting out, it's the inner child that's crying for attention. And I just remember being so young and just, you know, we all go through our own problems, and it's our duty as citizens of this world to never impede or fuck with anybody else's humanity, but to also understand ourselves. And sometimes that only comes looking back. So when I see the decisions and the choices that I made when I was younger, more crazy, I just try to look at myself with compassion. And, you know, I remember when I was 23, I remember looking out the window, and I remember imagining myself looking at an older version of myself and asking myself, like, does it get better? I'm looking back at that version of myself and just giving him a hug and saying, like, it does get better. Because it really does. It really does get better. Thank you, Miss Universe 2024. Anyway. How do you handle criticism and negative feedback both in your professional and personal life? I'm a very sensitive soul. My first response is to take offense. So I have to retreat into my shell, and I have to really hihimayin ko talaga, like, what part of this is coming from their projections and what part of this is something that I can integrate into my career, you know? In today's society, if you're looking to become a content creator, more so now than ever, good or bad publicity they are still views. They are still clicks. It is still reach. It just depends on how you handle it. So, you know, if you said something bad online or you did something that wasn't tasteful or something like that, una sa lahat, you have to come back to yourself and realize, did I do something wrong? And if you did something wrong, come from a place of honesty to do better. You know, there are two types of people in this world. It's either that breaks you, or they are just another, you know, building block for the person, the inevitable, amazing person you will become. What is the best love advice you have ever heard? I think love yourself first. Love yourself first. Fill your cup. Someone is not meant to be the center of the universe. They are meant to be a part of your constellation. They're meant to complement your life. So, ganun. If you ever feel like you're getting to the point na parang you can't live without a person, it's time to reassess the relationship. Not naman leave the relationship, but reassess your value system. See, we have the pillars of our life, but we have love, family, career, spiritual self-actualization, and the love of your life is just one part of that. I don't know, that might work for you. If it works for you, great. How do you continue to grow and evolve both personally and professionally? As cliche as this sound, I've always wanted to pursue mastery of self, and even in the moments where I have made mistakes, I try to view them as lessons. I've come to realize that it is inevitable that you will not become more aware of your life as you live it. Kasalanan ng pumikit kapag namulat ka na sa mga realities ng life mo. And that's just how we grow as humans, diba? The only thing inevitable in life is change. And when we try to resist that, that's where the friction comes in. So just really lean into that change. And gratitude. Really be thankful for, if you can't see the big things, be thankful that the sun came up today, and be thankful that you have 2 feet and 2 legs that can walk. Professionally, I was told by my therapist, everybody go to therapy. It is a mental workout, just like a physical workout. But I was told by my therapist that showbiz is a business of optics. So you have to separate your personal self from your professional self. And I think that applies to kahit anong trabaho na papasukan nyo. Okay guys, I hope you got to know me just a little bit better, and I hope that I imparted some advice to you. But I don't know if it ruins your life. Don't listen to it. But if it did help you, I'm happy. And while you're at it, please don't forget to catch Glitter and Doom ngayong June 5 na po in Ayala Cinemas nationwide.